Shiv Panditt, welcome to CNN News 18.
Thank you so much for having me. My pleasure.
Shiv, your film Shastry Vs Shastry got positive reviews by most of the critics, and everybody has been only praising your performance as Malhar in the film. Is
Thank
this
you so much.
is this what you wanted to achieve when you signed this film?
Uh, Honestly, I didn't think so far as to that this is what I would achieve. To tell you the truth, if you really want to know the God honest truth, what I wanted to really achieve was because when I got onto the film, there was already Neena Kulkarni ma'am, Paresh sir was already there. You had Amrita Subhash, Manoj Joshi, you had Teku Tilsania sir. So you already had these. I would not use the word veteran because Paresh sir gets very upset. यार तुम हर बार बूढ़ा बना देते हो. He gets very upset. But I would say that I would highly experienced and skilled artists already part of the project. So my only ख्वाहिश and my only interest at that time was कि अगर मेरी performance या मेरी acting हल्की सी भी कमजोर रही तो frame में I'll get easily pointed out कि this guy is नहीं यार ये थोड़ा पानी कम चाय, he's not been able to match up. Because when you have fine actors, if you don't come up with your A game, I'm not saying to surpass them, तो दूर वो तो chance ही नहीं है, but I'm saying at least if you have to match up to them, because otherwise it's so easy to single out the weak spot. So my actual endeavor was to make sure that I don't stand out as the weak link. I should just be able to put up a decent performance.
No, you of course have given a very sincere performance. But the film talks about this father and son relationship in which the character that is played by you is called Malhar,
Yeah.
who wants to prove to his dad, Manohar, that's played by Paresh Rawal, and Malhar wants to prove to his father that he's not worthless. The film is an emotional drama. How emotionally taxing or exhausting was this whole process for you?
So I always try to be a director's actor. I try to follow what the director tells me and I try to mold myself according to that. So even in this film, I mean, there was an instance I'll tell you where I had a real breakdown, not emotionally, but I was just not getting the lines correct or the emotion with the delivery correct. So I literally just went to one corner of the set and I was sitting down and I was just feeling like really sorry for myself, and it was just ridiculous. But it had gotten to me that because we had to finish certain scenes in a stipulated amount of time, and I'm not being able to give the performance in the way I wanted or the director wanted. And I still remember the director just came and he sat down next to me, Shibu Prasad Mukherjee, and he came and sat next to me and he said, "क्या हुआ, ठीक है?" मैंने बोला, "दादा मेरे से नहीं हो पा रहा है. I don't know. I think I'm just buckling under the pressure." He just looked at me and he squeezed my shoulder. He said, "Take 2 minutes, हो जाएगा. तू आजा वापस." So actually, it's not. It gets to you also some stuff like that, but you rely on your captain, and I always like relying on my captain. And every film of mine, I have such amazing relationships with my director only because they know that I surrender to them when I get on board a film.
So then the obvious question, one of your co-star in the film is Paresh Rawal, with whom you have many scenes. He's an acting powerhouse.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
So were you nervous at all while sharing screen space with him, while shooting with him? Or was it very easy?
I was nervous for the first 2 days because not in terms of acting opposite him, but in terms of what is the protocol that I need to execute on set in a way, like how should I address him? Should I talk to him a little extra? Should I try to become friends with him? Like I've never met him, so how do I break the ice with him? Because for me, an off-screen relationship is equally, if not more important than an on-screen relationship. Because if your off-screen relationship is mired in disharmony or a little bit of attitude or a little bit of distance, that reflects on screen. So, and I think Paresh sir is a classic example of this. I was feeling a little nervous as to how to approach him or to talk to him, but he made me feel so welcome and so loved that I knew that when I face him on screen, I don't have to now think Paresh Rawal is in front of me. Now my father, the character, is in front of me. Manohar Shastry is in front of me. Because I think oftentimes people talk about, oh, I was working with Mr. Bachchan and I mean, the thing is, of course, you as an actor, you are aware of who your co-stars are. But I think you should leave that awareness off screen. Because if you bring that awareness on screen, it's going to be detrimental to your performance.
So then, do you know how easily he gets under the skin of each character? Do you now know?
You know, I asked him this question actually, and he said, "Shiv, ab wo aa jata hai apne aap." I don't know. He's a very instinctive actor. Like I remember I was doing a scene with him in which I was, I wanted to do a couple of more takes, and it was not his scene; it was my scene. So I apologized to him between one take, and I said, "Sir, I hope you don't mind if I do a couple of more takes." He said, "तेरे को 8-10 करने तू कर, मैं बैठा हूँ." So I think, when you're working with someone like this who just makes you feel so at ease and so comfortable, it sort of helps you in your performance, and I love the fact that, I had actually just worked with his son Aditya in Bombay Meri Jaan. So he's playing Chota Babban in that. I'm playing Ranveer Malik in that. And then when I came to this set, it was a great icebreaker for me because I told him, sir, Aditya's a friend, I've worked with him. But not like that was required, but he was very happy in terms of, because he knows the film is about him and me. So I think all experienced artists somehow realize that off-screen, a relationship to be developed is very important, which will help the on-screen relationship.
I have to talk to you about your breakout hit, Shaitaan, that released in 2011. Is that one film which never bores you, even on a repeat viewing?
Oh, yeah. I have to tell you very honestly, like I told you, I have great relationships with my directors. And Bijoy is someone who I consider a friend, a brother, and like my captain in terms of a director. I've always loved Shaitaan and what Bijoy. I mean, I don't think anyone has seen me like that even now. And I keep, with every film that he does, I keep telling him, Bijoy, what? Yeah, you're not casting me again. What is this going on here? I am dying to work with Bijoy again, and I'm putting it out there via you that Bijoy, if you're hearing this, I would love to work with you again. But that is one film, because that character that Bijoy created, rather I would say that character that Bijoy allowed me to create with him. He was so collaborative. I can't even tell you. In fact, I remember one instance. उस जमाने में BlackBerry होता था. मैं जमाना बोल रहा हूँ 2011 में ना स्मार्टफोन इतने धड़ाके से नहीं आए थे. BlackBerry होता था. So I was so irritating to Bijoy because मैं scene के points लिखते रहता था that the body should fall this way because the force of attack has come this way. So this is the climax scene where I get killed because Kalki kills me. So I had written it down that I got killed this way and the body should fall that way. And I took him to the side. I said, Bijoy, see all these things. He said, no, now you're getting out of hand. Just calm down and relax. But I think overall, he really appreciated someone who's so involved. And I think every director wants an over-involved kind of a guy and not someone who's there to just do a job and go. Because, we are making magic at the end of the day. This is a passionate industry. Passion is what drives us, you know what I'm saying?
So which was your favorite, or which is your favorite dialogue from Shaitaan?
Bhaiya rishta hai ya gali.
Yeah. The one which was there in the trailer as well.
Yeah. That is actually quite a cool dialogue.
You were also part of Shershaah. You played the role of Captain Sanjeev Jamwal. Do you think Shershaah deserved a theatrical release instead of going
आपने जले पे नमक छिड़क दिया है. I was just telling someone the other day. I said, यार ये I said, I don't, if I'm sitting here, crying like I said, see, I should be happy because Shershaah, for the love it's got. But sometimes you just want that little extra. So with me, what happened was I had 2 releases back to back, for which I got a lot of love. Shershaah, for which I got immense love. So first I had Khuda Hafiz. This is in the first wave of COVID, in which I'm playing the main negative lead. I'm with Anu Kapoor sir. I'm with Vidyut. And I got a lot of love for that, for my character. So, and I kind of felt, yaar, ye agar theater mein aati yaar, to ek achhi interesting trajectory ho jati, because in that sense. Then cut to Shershaah. Shershaah also, like, full bomb blast happened for Shershaah in terms of appreciation. But, again, it came on OTT. So, I wish if both these films would have come theatrically and they would have done good business, of course, it would have made a huge impact in not only my career, but everyone else's career. Not like it hasn't. I'm saying, but the impact would have been bigger because box office and trade then takes over. There's a different dynamic to the whole thing.
So, Shiv, Bollywood has sort of experienced this OTT boom. There were so many series and films were made, especially in these last 2 years.
Yeah.
Today, how hard it is now for an actor to get hold of a good role or a good script?
It is becoming, I won't say hard, but it's getting different by the day. I remember my journey started with FIR. I used to do I've done one television show called FIR. It was a comedy show in 2006. For a year, I did it. And after that, the digital revolution sort of took place in terms of an OTT by around 2015, 2013. So the industry also changed quite a bit. Earlier, if you were doing TV, it was not possible for you to break into films. There was a huge divide between television and film. So when I did FIR, I got a lot of resistance to break into films, but luckily Shaitaan happened for me, but I waited for the right project. But plus, I was never really a TV face. I had just done comedy in television. And then after Shaitaan came out, literally a couple of years after that, the OTT boom completely took everyone by surprise. And COVID sort of helped propagate that OTT boom because everyone was sort of stuck at home and watching OTT. What is happening is that I think the audience's tastes have changed dramatically because although OTT was around prior to COVID, once the audience was forced to sit at home and watch sample content from all over the world, what happened is that automatically people's tastes matured and became better in terms of demanding more. So I think right now, a lot of the OTT companies who have been making shows left, right, and center are doing a huge rethink in terms of how do they keep their subscribers onto their platform. Because a lot of times what happens is subscribers come on board to see the IPL or they'll see one movie, then they'll cut the subscription and they'll go off. So, I'm hearing various things in the market about a new format called TV Plus, which the OTT channels are going to be making longer format shows. Like instead of making your 8 or 10 episodes, they'll probably be making something like a 40 episodes or 100 episodes in order to retain the audience on their platform. Now, I don't know whether longer format shows would mean compromising of quality and writing. I don't know. But at least one great thing which happened during the OTT is we really got to see what the Indian writers are capable of. I mean, they've been such excellent shows. Your 10 episoders which have come out in the last couple of years, from Patal Lok to Panchayat to, Kohra. I mean, there's some really excellent shows which have come out, which shows...
Very less, although the number is quite less.
नहीं लेस नहीं बट मैं इसका मतलब तो ये है ना कि जहां पे अगर आप डेवलपमेंट प्रॉपर तरीके से करेंगे, जहां पे आप राइटिंग टेबल एक सेटअप करेंगे. आई मीन सेक्रेड गेम्स वाज लाइक आई टेल यू, आई हैव अ डियर फ्रेंड हु वाज पार्ट ऑफ द सेक्रेड राइटिंग टेबल दे कॉल्ड इट, और द राइटिंग रूम फॉर सेक्रेड गेम्स, राइटिंग रूम. They were in development for over a year. The reason Sacred Games took everyone by surprise because they put in the time, and which is exactly what happens in the West. These writing rooms.
Only the first season got a thumbs
up. Correct. No, but I just feel, when it came to television, anything other than film, it was always questionable. Indian content. It was like how you have Turkish content or a little melodramatic. A lot of it thrives on melodrama. But when we got the OTT boom, we really saw that, wow, we've got some excellent writers, who can really put out good stuff if they're given the right means to do so. So it is challenging to find the right part because, you know how it is in this industry. Unless and until you've become a mega star where a couple of hits and a couple of misses don't matter because your stature overtakes your success ratio. Otherwise, for everybody else like me who's trying to make a name for himself with each project, I think it's very, very important because your Friday decides your fate. Whatever project comes out, depending on how you've performed in that project or how it's fared at the box office or whatever variety of other reasons, that sort of decides your fate. So, it's a little tricky. It's a little tricky because you can't. So now, for example, I can tell you this, that for a few years now, I don't wait for the phone to ring. I create a lot of content. I create a lot of projects myself. I try to develop stuff myself because you can't keep waiting for things to happen. You have to go out there and make it happen for yourself.
Well, many thanks for your time, Shiv.
My pleasure. Thank you for your time as well.
Thank you so much for talking to us.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.